All right, everybody. This is another Tuesday night at Beaumont, Alabama. I just had oral surgery. And I'm still healing, so sometimes my voice kind of it's hard to talk. But anyway, Kevin is with us, and we have special guests Selena and Erica of
Hello.
44 in Columbiana.
There you go.
They're going to share their
Hey.
Facebook page and whatnot so y'all can like and all that stuff. And they're well worth taking a visit to Columbiana for. And we're going to talk to them. They've got some good ghost stories. And they are trying to change the world. So we're going to see how they're going to change the world.
We're trying. It's a slow process.
You are in Central Alabama.
Yes.
Yes.
So
In Columbiana, Central Alabama.
Evan, I want to turn it over to you and Catherine.
Okay.
Okay.
We're going to sing some ditties or.
Y'all going to ask questions. And y'all do your thing. Kevin, you can run with this.
Okay. All right. All right. What do we talk about first? Well, tell us about the history of your store there, how it all began.
Well, I'm a nurse, and I quit nursing when COVID started. We didn't really want to work in the corporate world, so me and Selena started making homemade, handmade items, candles, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. And we started setting up little pop-up events everywhere, at least once a month. And we did that, I don't know how long we did that, for about a year or so.
About a year and a half.
And then my wife was being pretty much kind of threatened with losing her job because she wasn't vaccinated. And so I started looking at, I just started brainstorming. We had to figure out a way to bring in some income. And I went by a loaded tea place to get me a tea one day. And there was an empty building. And so here we are. It
How long?
was that fast.
How long ago?
December.
Yeah. Almost 6 months.
Yep.
And what kind of reception you got so far?
Well, so far, I mean, I believe it's been pretty open. Everybody's been really good. We've had a few people. We did have one local business owner tell us that we had balls to do this in Columbiana, but I mean, our response is somebody needs to do it, and they can't eat us. They can't make us leave. So, but everybody's been pretty open. We've had a good bit of positive reception with it. I mean, I've been shocked, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, they've really opened their arms up to us. They've been really good to us. Columbiana has.
Well,
we haven't had any negative feedback so far.
No. Nope.
February of 2019, I hosted down the road in Shelby a paranormal Bigfoot convention at Sterling Castle. It sold out. We had to turn people away.
Yeah, we were gonna go. I don't think we could get tickets.
Yeah,
Brandon loves Bigfoot.
It sold out. Yeah. So
people sold out of books.
I think people are more open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still kind of like gays, where they're still kind of closeted.
Right.
Well,
and one thing, I mean, with the pandemic, it has opened people's minds. People that were on the verge of opening have opened their minds. People that did not believe in any of the holistic side of things, they're opening their minds. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just a good time for this going on right now.
Yeah. Well, COVID has made people wake up.
Yeah. I try to find the positive in all bad, and that's the positive from COVID that I've been able to find. People are opening their eyes.
Even from the Bible, there is natural healing.
Right.
Herbs and so forth in there.
Yeah.
Yes. We also, Selena is she just got certified in crystal and chakra healing.
Yep.
So we have that going on. I'm an end of life doula. So instead of being a birthing doula, helping the babies come in, I'm a death doula, helping them transition out. So we have that in there. We have a tarot card reader. We have a Reiki healer. We're working on getting a bunch of different things. We're trying. We're building.
Yeah.
We want it to be a
Well-
one-stop shop to where you can come in and get whatever it is that you need done. So that's
Spiritual,
ultimately
yeah.
the 5-year goal.
There's a lot of different people. There's a lot of people out there use candles and crystals and things for just
Yeah.
different, people from different backgrounds, different beliefs will use those different ways. So
Well,
I see
Catherine will
candles
tell you,
everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
And incense.
Mhm.
Catherine will tell you that I'm also a end of life doula.
Oh, cool, Erica.
Yes.
Listen, you met another one.
Catherine, you're an end of life doula?
No, I am.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I've even written a book. It's on Amazon.
Cool.
Journey of grief and healing.
Yes.
But I've dealt with hospice and end of life a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I call it I belong to an organization that we promote positive death.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's yes.
We're death positive.
Death
Yep.
positive. We wear T-shirts that says future corpse.
So have you ever heard of the death cafes?
Yes. In the
I
UK,
wanted to host one. And since
Yeah.
you're a doula too, that could be another thing that we could
Yeah.
host because I think
Yeah.
everybody should talk about death. It's a taboo topic.
no,
Nobody-
it's not. To me, there's two things that should not be taboo, that are taboo, and one is sex, and the
Right.
other is death. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for sex.
Right.
And
And
you-
everybody that has a birthday, I always tell them, thank your parents for having unprotected sex exactly when they did. One minute later, it wouldn't have been you.
Right. But we do need to talk about death more. And it's like everything that's happened over the past couple of years, people don't know how to grasp it. They don't know how to take it. They're struggling. I mean, it needs to be discussed more. It needs to be an open topic.
There's one organization in the UK. In their organization of being death positive, they work together to build their own caskets.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, Alabama, we do have a green
Up
cemetery
in
in
Madison
Mobile.
County, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
He's the one that fought because Alabama tried to force you to buy your casket from a funeral home.
Mm-hmm.
She lobbied to change that.
Right.
You know you can buy caskets at Walmart and Sam's and Costco and all that good place.
Yeah.
Right.
Get them on Amazon.
Yes, anyone?
And you can also donate your body to science. It's free. They
Yeah.
cremate you. They send you back to your family in about 6 months to a year, and everything's covered, and your family has to pay for nothing. So that's another option as well.
Well, my family couldn't get rid of me, so they all died to get away from me.
Are you that
I tell
bad?
you,
I'm
It's
terrible.
horrible.
he is. Ugh.
I'm running
Well,
out
you
of sand to get rid of my horns.
Yeah, there's a famous Alabamian who was all about, she didn't have any problems with death and even used to have picnics in cemeteries. And that was Catherine Tucker Wyndham, God rest her soul. And she had her own coffin built back when she got a little older. This was the funniest story she told us. She got a little older and she went with one of her kids to the funeral home to pick out a casket. And she said, Lord, the prices on these things, some of them had the Lord's Supper on the inside cover. Who's going to see that once it goes in the ground? Who's going
Yeah.
to see all this stuff once you bury it? And she turned around to the funeral home manager and said, do you have any of the cardboard boxes these came in? He said, well, ma'am, I don't think that would do. She said, I think it would.
Mhm.
So she went to a friend of hers who was a carpenter and had him build her a pine coffin.
Mm-hmm.
But it turned out instead of getting buried, she had herself burned in that coffin, cremated, and then her ashes. I don't know where her ashes were put, but she got herself cremated in it.
Hmm.
But she loved going to that cemetery in Selma and eating picnics there on the tombstones.
Oh, that's a
They
beautiful
have pretty
cemetery.
cemeteries in Selma.
The what back in my university days, I worked at a funeral home. Have you ever been to Nashville?
Yes.
You know where Centennial Park is?
No.
I
I
know
did. It
it,
was a
but
long time ago.
Yeah.
I know it,
funeral-
but I don't think I've been there.
Yeah. Well, Marshall Donnelly Combs Funeral Home. I finally took Catherine there to see it, but yeah, we have a very skewed view of death.
Yeah.
I like to walk up to people and say, "You're gonna die." What? Yeah, you're gonna die. And I say, "Do you know the number one cause of death? Heart attack. No, birth."
Yeah.
Yep.
Start the conversation.
That's our given in life. We're gonna die.
That's it. If you were born, you're gonna die.
Yep.
And unless you're God, you gotta have sex to have be born. Okay, so we got the big subjects out of the way. So, Selena,
Yes.
tell us a ghost story.
Yeah,
I got a story. Okay. Let me think.
I was gonna say, any creepy things happen in the store since you've been there?
And,
Yeah.
Well, actually, yes,
we
it
have stuff
has.
happen all the
and
time.
Selena, don't be afraid to embellish.
Okay. So, like just a few weeks ago, we were at the shop, and well, this just happened the other day. We were at the shop, and we just been talking and working and talking, and we go to the front and sit down at the desk, and there's a feather laying on our desk, and I'm like, she was like, "Did you put this here?" I'm like, "No." I was like, "We don't even have feathers like that in the shop," and we don't know where that damn feather come from.
But it was just sitting there, just as pretty
Yeah.
as you please.
I find them
Wow.
often.
We get scents of perfume all the time in there. Old
So-
perfume, you can smell it. Every once in a while, you'll get a
Oh,
scent.
man.
You'll
Yeah,
hear
we-
little creakings and crackles, and you'll see little. I see them. Erica sees them. Just little things in the corner of your eye. You'll see stuff go by.
I seen a whole ass ghost dog.
Sure do.
Oh,
Yeah,
And
well,
it's so our shit.
we need to set up a time to spend the night in there and do a whole
Yeah.
wow. I know that you're not far from that old courthouse there in the middle of the turnaround.
Yes.
It's a museum now. I was in there last week. They got some ghost stories there.
and they will not let you do a ghost hunt there.
No, they won't.
Well, we can go ghost hunting at the shop.
We can go
Yeah.
ghost hunting at my house.
Yeah, she's got her house.
Well, Erica, tell us about your ghost.
Oh well, the ghost here is pretty friendly. It just likes to move stuff around. I
Wait a
don't.
minute, wait a minute. What's that behind your chair?
Oh.
Is
It's a
he
sign.
being
I don't
funny?
know what it says.
It took her a minute.
Right. But I will tell you this, me and Selena both, and I'm not going to say the name of the place, but we worked at a semi-locally nursing home. We both worked at the same place. Now that place, I probably have the best ghost stories from there.
Oh.
I had a patient. She never would come out of her room for anything. She never come out of her room. She was a recluse. But one night, I worked night shift. I was always a night shift nurse. One night, we're sitting at the desk, and I see her walk down the hall. She's in a house coat. She's in house shoes, and she turns and goes in her room. And my first thought was, oh, gosh, she's got a UTI because she's up wandering around. Something abnormal is wrong with her. So I go down there, and I check on her. This woman's dead asleep. You can tell she had not been up at all. But I plainly seen her or something walk into that room. I don't know if Selena can vouch for this, but I used to see black just like in the peripheral vision, black things pass all the time. And then on one hall, they actually did a renovation on it. But prior to the renovation, there was a lady down at the very last room. It was Wing C, Selena, the ones that we both worked, all the way down. And she was contracted. Like she stayed in a contracted position all the time. But she would be down there just screaming her head off. And she would be naked. And she would tell me that the man took her clothes off. That man took my clothes off. And one night she said, he's in the closet. And I said, he's not in the closet. And I went to open the closet to show her that nobody was in there. And she screamed so bad. I screamed with her. I slammed the closet. But my grandfather is a Baptist preacher. And so I got him to bless me a Bible. And I would put it under her bed at night when we were down there. But they ended up doing a renovation on that. And I actually have pictures on one of my cameras they're pretty freaky pictures from taken when they were doing the renovation where I had taken them. But it's
you can text me the picture and I can put it up on the screen.
Okay, well, it's on one of my cameras.
You don't know? Okay.
Yeah, it's on a digital. This was way back when.
It's not on the phone.
I have a cell phone that took pictures back then.
But yeah, that's a creepy place too.
Yeah.
I worked third shift, so I always thought I was just seeing stuff because I was so sleepy. But I was always seeing little flickers and little.
The residents would tell me that they would see children.
Sure you wasn't on LSD or something?
No.
No. The residents would tell me that they would see 3 children. They would ask me, what are those kids doing in here? It would go throughout the whole facility. And within 3 days, somebody would die. So every time the residents started telling me that they seen the kids, I would think, oh gosh, who's dying? Who's dying next? But every time they reported that somebody died within 3 days.
Yeah.
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 It's called escorts.
Yeah, this is stuff that really did they ever tell you about the kids, Selena?
Yeah, one of the older nurses that had been there for years told me about them. She said
it was true. When they ever
she's like, if the residents start telling you they see kids, somebody's gonna die.
That was absolutely true.
Yeah.
So did you know somebody that died when they saw the kids?
Oh yeah, I mean residents. They were my residents. They weren't my personal family.
So
patients that lived in the nursing home, yes.
All right. So in some nursing homes, they have a cat that predicts the death. You familiar with that?
Yeah.
I know there's we was doing our clinicals in Selma, and one of their nursing homes they had a pet cat at that nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what'd you say about a dog? A ghost dog?
Oh yeah, tell me.
The other day, well,
2 weeks ago.
okay, so the first day, okay, I don't know which story you want to tell. I'm going to tell them about the one at the shop. I'll let you tell it.
Okay, this is at room 44 is.
Yes, this happened at room 44. This was just a couple of weeks ago. We were at
So anybody that's listening to us, if you want to have an interaction with a spirit, go to room 44.
And they might be animals as well. But we were working, and I had a box in my hand that had a lid.
Selena, I think Selena could be an animal sometimes.
You probably can, yeah.
Oh, yeah, spider monkey.
But the box, I was cleaning. We were doing something. I had the box with a lid, and I'm sitting there, and I see just as plain as day a little white pit bull walk past me like a little ghost dog, and I stopped for a minute. And I looked at Selena, and she was like, what is it? I said, I'm losing my damn mind. What is it? I said, I just seen a white pit bull go by me. Well, after that, I went back to doing what I was doing, and we have yet to find the lid to the box that I had in my hands when I saw the dog. We think the ghost dog took the lid. I don't know what happened to it, but we haven't found it yet.
Was that in your area or in the common area?
In our work area, back there,
in the back room.
In your storage? part. Yeah.
Yeah, behind the curtains.
So you're about to expand again.
We hope.
Yeah. We just got this new expansion, what, about a month ago? About 3 weeks
Yeah,
ago?
we got to stay in here for a few months and see how this is going to go before we can expand again.
Well, we need to get you a bunch more product in there.
Yeah.
So Catherine is going to make some stuff and just kind of put it on consignment with you. Is that okay?
Well, this is the thing. Let's talk about that later.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys want to do.
But yeah, we're now we want people. We're looking for energy workers. We're looking for other artists, local people, the small people, the little people. We want to bring their stuff into our store.
Yes.
With their name on it, to get their name out with stuff too. We're trying to grow the whole community. We want everybody to get a piece of the pie.
So this is how you're trying to change the world.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm also taking
energy. Anybody that does energy work, tarot readers, mediums, anything like that.
Palm readers. We want to get a palm reader in there.
So when somebody says, "Look, I'm a palm reader,"
Yeah.
I just approach you guys and say, I want to show up and do palm reading. I mean, how's it work?
Come and talk to us. I have to do an interview with you. You got to do it on me first. I got to see how it works.
Oh, she wants to.
I got to see how good you are.
No, we do paid interviews. We pay you for your time.
Oh, do you?
I'll pay
Yeah,
you.
we do.
I don't expect anything for free.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically you come in and let me know, and then we'll let you do your thing on me and Selena and go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had a little bit of experience with Catherine.
Yes.
Especially you. What did you think about that?
So I lost my daughter. She's been gone for 26 years. And that is what actually got me into the spiritual side of things. Is because I lost her. I lost myself in that. I was looking for answers, though, that I wasn't finding anywhere else. And so that's what got me into mediumship and spiritual, just the spiritual side of things. But I've never had a reading with anybody that was legit, like that actually made sense, that my daughter didn't come through. Usually on the first thing that the mediumship or whoever says to me. And the other day, Catherine held my hand. I've never met her before until then. And I felt pinging on my palm while she was holding my hand, like a little electrical vibe on my hand. And the first thing she said is, "You have a little girl with you," which that was my validation. Okay, what else do you know? Tell me what else you know.
I know you feel very loudly.
But yeah.
So what is your favorite form of mediumship? I mean, what
I love it. I don't have a favorite. I love all of it.
I love it.
Playful Rain.
We've got some of our guests saying hi here to us.
Hello, how are y'all?
Hello, Playful Rain.
Hello.
So, anybody's just tuning in, these girls, Erica,
Yes.
top right there, Selena, they own a place in Columbiana, Alabama, called Room 44. And they're sharing ghost stories and also talking about how they're trying to change the world, especially in our very conservative state of Alabama.
Yep.
So that's where we are with them. And if anybody has any questions, just in the chat room over there, post the questions. We'll put it up there and see what we can do. Right? All right, Selena, we're back to you with another ghost story.
Okay.
Tell us more about that Catholic cemetery.
Okay, so that's a creepy ass place. Okay, so
First of all, I don't want you to tell where it is. Keep that.
I'm not.
Okay.
So something bad happened there. Like some kind of satanic cult went up there and they've done some kind of sacrificial thing and they desecrated a lot of graves, and there is a lot of energy out there. Like you can feel it when you walk out there. You can feel like all eyes are on you when you're out there. You can feel it. Do what?
Positive or negative energy?
There's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Now down in like the bottom corner there, we actually got a picture. It's been back years ago. I don't have the picture, but I saw the picture. You could see like somebody leaning against a tree, a shadow with an old hat on. Well, we went down there during the day, and down there where we saw that shadow, there's a picture on the grave of a man, and it had the same hat on. So here a while back, a couple of months ago, me and my kids went out there one night. We took our dowsing rods out there, and we was out there, and I don't know. We could feel something out there, and we sit down, and we were using dowsing rods, and it was that shadow person that we had seen, the man in the grave in the corner with the hat. And we asked him, like, do you want to hurt us? And he said, yes. And I was like, but you can't hurt us, can you? And he's like, no. I said, because I said something about my spirit guides being, there with me really strong. And it said, yes. And I was like, you can't follow us home. And it said, no. I mean, we got communication with the dowsing rods with the spirit. But I mean,
Wow.
you could feel it in the air. I mean, the energy was just like so crazy out there.
Well, when we did that seance last Tuesday night,
Uh-huh.
we used dowsing rods as well.
Yes.
And Kevin, tell them what you thought about all that.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting because I held those at one point. We kind of took turns holding them.
You
When I
can feel
had
them
them,
vibrating, can't you?
yes,
Yeah.
when I had them,
Yeah.
and Catherine's daughter was sitting across from me asking questions about her friend who passed away a few years before, and when the rods would swing the cross for yes, I could feel the move, like something at the other end kind of pulling or
Yeah.
tapping.
Yeah.
And so it was amazing.
Yeah. Well, we actually used the dowsing rods down at Erica's house here a while back. Me and my
Yes.
daughter come down there, and she brought them. And we had spirit talk to us, and we found out that he was just a little trickster. He wasn't there to harm anybody. He just liked to, try to scare us every once in a while.
He
But
likes to scare my wife more than me.
yeah,
He's a Native American, and I believe that. I mean, because my cat came up missing, and so I was tromping through the woods trying to see if I could find her. We lived down on the lake, and I found some trees that were bent over from like the Native Americans, how they would mark places like bodies of water, and it was bent toward the lake. So I'm pretty sure that that's correct. Native American it said that he was buried on the property.
yeah,
Was buried on the property, but that we have never walked on the grave. So, because I asked we asked him, was he buried on the property? He said yes, and I was like, oh no. Then I was like, okay, have we ever walked across your grave? And it said no. So I don't know where he's at, but
yeah.
Catherine engages girls.
I know I'm quiet.
you are.
They never let me get a word in edgewise.
Oh, peace y'all.
Go ahead. It's your show.
Yes, come on, talk.
Oh,
Come on,
well,
talk.
you put me on the spot. I noticed you had some new, you had gotten some new jewelry in.
Oh yes.
Yes.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Why don't you tell us about that piece that's on the top left-hand corner?
I don't know what piece it is.
It's got a tree on it.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's labradorite, isn't it?
Labradorite, yeah. It's got the
We
tree.
also have the tree of life. We also
So
have
the girl,
moldavite
Brittany
too.
Nicole, she's with
Yes,
all
these girls, which hard to find, they got moldavite.
Yes, we got two pieces.
Yeah.
Of
Very, very hard to find. What sizes do you have, and how much do you get for it?
They're tiny pieces. Because moldavite is expensive. They're made into the jewelry, but I think the pieces that we have are $55 or $65, but it's on a necklace. It's made into a necklace.
Can you get just the stones, just the crystals?
Yeah, we
Moldavite?
don't have just the crystal. It's hard to
can't get
find.
it?
And our lady that has it, she don't like to come off of it because hers,
okay.
it's got a
We're
certificate.
trying though.
You what?
We asked her the other day when she brought the pieces in if she would sell just pieces of Moldavite, and she told us she would think about it. But
I tell her that I need it for my radionics machines. It has nothing to do with jewelry.
oh, okay.
I don't want to use it in jewelry. I put it in my radionics machines.
Well, we might can actually just connect the two of you guys, and
Yeah, because she goes.
I don't know who she gets it from, some country, some guy that's in a country.
Well,
Exactly where.
yeah, you can get it from out west, New Mexico, Arizona, somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he's at.
Yeah, but if I could get it from somebody local, I'd rather, deal with somebody.
Well, I know she told us that she paid, what was it, $1,900 for a chunk of Moldavite.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not cheap.
I mean, we both have our personal little. See, it's tiny pieces,
Well,
and
see,
this piece
Moldavite,
cost me $50.
yeah, Moldavite comes from outer space.
Yes.
Yeah.
We know.
That's what makes it so special, because it's
Yeah.
not Earth or originated, so it comes from out in the universe, and it is very special and very. They say rare. I don't know how rare it is, but
Well, it's powerful.
it's
Yes,
powerful.
it's powerful.
If you get the
Yes.
real stuff, it's just like when you felt Catherine's hand.
Uh-huh.
You can feel the same thing by holding a Moldavite.
Yeah. It will turn your world upside down if you're not ready for it.
Yeah.
It'll make you have evil thoughts. You have to be careful with it. It'll make you have evil thoughts.
It turned my world upside down. That's why I got more hair on my butt than my head.
That's what it was. Okay.
So did you like that necklace, Catherine?
I did. Mhm.
She makes some of the most beautiful pieces.
She does.
Put it aside for me.
We
Okay.
also got some of these bracelets right here, up there. They're
we have
wrapped in copper.
Yeah, I use a
I
lot of
didn't take pictures
copper
of
in
those.
my machines as well.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about your machine, because I've been looking at.
Yes,
I've done a little
I'm
research.
glad
Yes, we want to know about this.
Yes, I am so inquisitive about this.
Yes.
I'm gonna try. Let me do this. Give me a second here,
Okay.
and
Yeah, I
because
got
I
a website. I read everything, and I was like, I
Yeah.
need this.
Yes.
have-
Ring 44 needs that box. Needs one of those boxes.
We have a helmet too.
A helmet.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't hear about this.
It actually connects to the washing machine.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna, because I'm having a problem talking very clearly.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to share a little tutorial video I made. Un momento, por favor. Let's see if I got the right one there.
Hello, everybody. Dr. Kelsey, the list here. With an instructional video on the very basic system. This is the machine that I did. So I haven't done a basic instructional video on this machine. You get in your package. Warrior machine, Warrior living, but in your packet. Forces this machine. Set up the water. Explain that in a second. And two manuals. The one manual will be the instructions, which I've already read. And the next manual will be your personal information derived from So who has any birthdays? This information for you.
All right. That's not a good one because I had that background noise. Let me find something else.
Yeah, it's got a lot of echo on it.
Yeah.
I had that music. I forgot to get rid of it. Hold on, bear
I
with me.
watched your videos. I watched all your videos. I
We,
read
we don't,
every
yeah, we
word
don't,
on
yeah.
your website. I read it.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. Here's let's try this one. So people can know a little bit about my wishing machines. I got different models.
Some people have 6 moms, some people 9. Way that I built mine, these gals set a certain rate. 5, from my experience, is a good enough number, a perfect enough number to get your attention fulfilled. So, you got some, this one right here was on the test side right now.
Have y'all seen this video?
I'm not sure, but it's got a lot of
Echo. I can't really.
I can't understand what you're saying.
Hey, okay. All right. It's not working.
If that's on your website, yes, I watched that.
Yeah.
That's just how he normally talks.
Well, that's why I'm talking right now.
Sounds like he was in a bucket.
All right. Well, I just have to do that later. I'm not gonna be able to talk enough to really explain it good right now.
Okay.
So I'll get it, but I'm having an issue right now. Unfortunately. Go ahead, Catherine. Y'all take over a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I'm going to read the website off to you.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get it to work. Well, I'm having problems now with my computer. I need a new thing. All right, imagine yourself getting into your car, ready to drive to work. You got up early, got dressed, went to the vehicle, opened the door, put the key into the ignition, but the tank is completely dry. It has no energy, so it can't move. It doesn't matter how much you thought about the idea of going to work to do your job. All the arrangements, the preparation, and your willingness just weren't enough. A basic and essential element is missing: the power to transport you and your vehicle to your destiny. Hold on.
Don't stop.
I'm not. I just got to get to where I can read it more. I hate the what. I got to work on this. Okay.
Is it those ads popping up? I hate
Yes.
that. I hate
Yes.
I don't have it.
Yes.
No, it's not ads.
Oh, okay.
No, she don't know what she's doing.
I don't know what I'm doing. Y'all excuse me. I don't
Oh,
feel this.
goodness.
Okay, I want to read a review because this review really just is amazing.
This is what one of my customers wrote.
It says, "Hi, Dr. Graham. I love you so much. Whatever intention is, the machine magnifies it by 1,000 times. I have never experienced anything like this in my life. It is a supernatural experience. This is so amazing. I'm speechless. Words cannot express how thankful I am to you. God led me to you so that you would create this magical wish machine for me. No one knows about my machine but my sister, but I kept my intentions to myself. No one knows but me. The machine sends my subconscious thoughts to the universe. The subconscious mind is the prover. Thank you so much. I love you." Then she wrote, "Screw it. I'm done. I had my wish machine for about 3 weeks. I was a bit frustrated because I did not understand why my original wish was not manifesting. My seasonal allergies were acting up, and I was just not in a good mood. I had errands to run, and nothing had been working right for the entire morning. I unplugged my machine. I was at my wits' end. With a flourish, I took off the original wish off the machine. I said out loud, "Screw it, I'm done." I threw down a $20 bill on the input plate and left the house to run my errands. Well, it turned out that I ended up winning $420 in the Georgia lottery online, plus an additional $120 hand that day. The first 100 came within an hour of my statement of "screw it, I'm done." The rest of the money manifested within 4 additional hours. I guess you can say that this is not bad for receiving over $500 within 5 hours. The wish making machine not only paid for itself, but I made a profit. And that's from Anonymous in Georgia.
So on the original home page, when you first go there, you scroll all the way down to the bottom, it'll say inner site. Click on that, and then you can read all the reviews right on that page.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying.
It's not hard.
Have you ever used it before?
Me?
Yes. Have you ever used a
Yeah.
wish
Oh,
machine?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tell us your experience.
Which one you want to hear about?
Just whichever one.
Pick
Just,
one.
Let me
Comes
hold
to
on. Let
you.
me get over here to my back to StreamYard so I can look at y'all while I'm talking to you, because I don't like to not look at people when I'm talking to them. And I was on the other website. Well, I have thrown money on the machine just to play around with it, just to see. I wound up getting a $650 bonus from a couple we married a few weeks ago.
Cool.
So that was just me. I was in the process of building it. Was not expecting that money. They said, "How much tip do you want?" I didn't know I was getting one, and they wrote me a $650 check.
Oh,
So do I believe it works on that end? Yes.
yes.
The way it works, I call it the law of attraction on steroids. It's not going to violate the laws of nature.
Right.
It's not going to give you eternal life, anything like that. But I know one person, my original price is going back a while on my very basic machine was like $300. So I had a guy bought one of the machines to experiment with. He got it, and he said, well, he didn't really know what to wish for. And then he thought, well, I should wish for my $300 back. Within 3 days, he got a phone call offering him $300 to give a short speech. That's the way it works.
Right.
It opens doors for you.
Yes.
It's not going to
just like the lady in Georgia who put the $20 down. It didn't miraculously put money in her hands.
Right.
She
Oh,
had
yeah.
lottery. So you do have to take an overt action, and a door will be open, but you have to go through that door.
You
Right.
got to work for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just
So
makes it possible.
it's gonna
Well,
bring.
we believe in manifesting. We manifest stuff all the time. So
Yes, they do.
I compare it.
if we could use a box to help that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
that's what it is. It's called radionics, and the helmet we make is called psionics, and it goes back to the early part of the 20th century. Anyway, I added my own twist into this. On some of my models, if you're familiar with a Tesla coil,
Mm-hmm.
so I use a Tesla coil as an amplification to even boost it more because you're sending energy out.
Mhm.
You realize you can take a Tesla coil and it will illuminate a burned out fluorescent light bulb. That's the
Cool.
kind of energy it sends out. So I use it as an amplification tool. And then instead of using just a white, what we call stick plate, I use a purple plate that's been energized. And then we put the crystals inside the box.
Right.
So the combination of things that we do, or that I created for this box, and you can read the reviews, like I said.
Yeah, I watched that, and then I watched how you had the little light bulb was showing if it was working
Yeah.
or not. I watched all that.
Yeah, we watched all that.
So this came to fruition for me during 2020. Most of my income came from weddings up to that point. And I don't have to tell you what 2020 did for weddings. So I was fishing for something else. And as I developed this, within 3 or 4 days, my world took 180 degrees.
In a
So,
positive way.
I'm sorry?
I said in a positive way, right?
Oh, yeah. You know, I can tell more information, but difficulty right now.
Right, I know.
So anyway, go ahead. Catherine,
So
Kevin.
what was your first experience that you ladies had that you remember?
First
With,
experience, like
Paranormal.
spirit,
with
paranormal.
mine that I remember, like vague, like honestly, truly remember, was when my daughter died. When I was pregnant with her, I would put headphones on my stomach and let her listen to country music because that's what I listened to back then. And then after Marissa died, I would hear faint music playing in the background. I could not ever find it. It wouldn't be outside. I even put my head down on the floor, listening in the vents to see, I looked for that music everywhere and I could never find it. And then it dawned on me that was Marissa. And that's when I started plunging into my spiritual journey. Because I was like, okay, that's Marissa communicating with me. Let me see what else I can find. And that was my first one.
And what about you, Selena?
I'm gonna say probably my first one was, I don't know, maybe 6 months or so after my mother was murdered. I was at my grandma's house. I had moved in with her, and I was standing in the bedroom, looking in the mirror, brushing my hair, and I looked up in the corner of my eye, and I seen my mama standing behind me in the mirror, and she was just standing there smiling.
Do you guys understand the difference between a ghost and a spirit?
Yes.
And how would you define that?
Well, a ghost is something that is earthbound, that is stuck here. A spirit is freely to come and go as they please. That's the way I always thought about it.
Can I define it a little bit closer?
Yes.
A ghost is turned into space and time. You cannot communicate with a ghost because it's like a residual energy that keeps going over the same pattern over and over. A spirit you can communicate with because it is free, like you said. So a lot of people will dispute that. But having done seances and dealt with spiritualism, I don't know if you're familiar with spiritualist churches, but there is a difference between a ghost and a spirit.
Yeah.
And it's not, the spirit is like watching a DVD looping. It's like at a certain time of night, you'll see this ghost walking a stairway.
Mm-hmm.
And you can predict it on a certain date or a certain time and that sort of thing. A spirit is not like that. A spirit you can call up where you're sitting right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're not restricted to a certain place or time.
Right.
So people call it residual warning.
Yeah.
I communicate with my mom's spirit, my brother's spirit, and I lost my 19-year-old son 2.5 years ago, and I communicate with his spirit all the time.
And how do you communicate? Give us an example.
I do pendulum. I meditate. I get quiet, and I call on him, and he sends me. I use my pendulum. He gives me yes or no answers. I actually was on the phone with a psychic medium about a month ago, and I actually heard his voice say, "Mama, I love you." I heard his voice.
Kevin, You've heard
Yes.
voices before, and you use a cat ball. Tell these girls of your experiences.
Yeah, we have this little toy we like to use. Here, I got it right here. I can show it to you. And it wasn't made for this. This is just a basic cat toy. A ball that a cat can just kind of bat around with its paw. And when they do, it lights up like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd never really heard of this thing until about 5 years ago when I was in a investigation in Tennessee. And a lady pulled these out and set them on the floor. And the idea is, and you have to be really still and keep away from it. And you ask a question. You can use it for yes or no mainly. And you ask them to tap it for yes. And if it lights up, it's giving you a yes answer. And I've actually had that happen. Or sometimes I just do it to let you know they're there. Like last
Cool.
week, I took a haunted dog. It just keeps going and going. Here we go. I cut it off. But last week, I took one of my haunted dolls to the seance, and she lit up the cat ball at one point. She was across the room from us where nobody was messing with her, and the ball was right in front of her, and it just went off by itself. And I said, yeah, that's her letting us know she's there. But they have used that, and especially child spirits, because they see that as a little toy.
Yeah.
So they'll be more than happy to play with it for you.
So I have
it'll-
a question.
uh-huh.
Where do you store your dolls?
They're
She's so scared of dolls, guys. She's so scared.
they're I don't have any in the room with me here, but they're mainly here in my den where I watch TV. When I'm sitting there watching TV, they're all on shelves right behind me, and I've got a
Erica,
Cases? Are they
displays case.
he sleeps with them.
I don't
No.
sleep with them in my bed, you Looney Tune. But I do have several in my bedroom too, kind of around there against the wall.
See? Mhm.
It's not like I get them and go to bed with them and suck my thumb. Come on, Kelsey. But yeah, the younger spirits I have in there because I feel like they want to be closer to where I am. And but yeah, they're all around. But yeah, people think I'm maybe I am crazy, but they're like, you sleep in the same house with those? I'm like, they don't bother me. So
Yeah, but the concern is, do you bother them?
no, I think they let me know if I bothered them.
So
So
what kind of
how have you acquired all of these?
No, what was that again?
Go ahead, Selena.
I was just asking how you acquired all of these haunted dolls.
Most of them. The first one I got in 2013. It was after I've been a fan of ghosts and the paranormal since I was a little kid. Mainly ghosts, but a little bit of UFO and Sasquatch thrown in there. And I grew up in a neighborhood that was built right next to old Cherokee Native American territory, so there were a lot of ghost stories there. But we had some creepy stuff in our house too.
All right, so I'm going
And,
to share. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, I was getting to how I acquired the dolls. So when I grew up to a big boy, an adult, I joined a paranormal team, and it was a few years after, in 2013. A friend of mine said, "Hey, I got this haunted doll that you might like to have since you know about ghosts." And of course, before I knew anything about haunted dolls, I think Chucky, evil Annabelle, going to choke me, stab me.
Yes.
But it turned out, she told me the story about it, that it belonged to a little girl whose mother was a prostitute and abandoned her. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool that this actually belonged to such a sad story, and it's a conversation piece. So I took it, and I was very skeptical until a few days later, after Patty is the name of the doll, came in my home. I started feeling little tugs on my shirt tail, and I was hearing little giggles and little knocks. And I said, oh, there is something to this. And I caught her little voice talking to me on a recorder. And so that's when I got it. I said, well, it makes sense. If a house can be haunted, I guess a doll or anything else can be haunted. And it's not like they're inside the doll, moving it around and walking around and dancing. They're just around it,
They're attached to it, yeah.
And so after that, I started going online researching and got to know some other investigators who handle these things. And now, over the years, they've sort of rehomed things with me, and I've got like over 300 dolls
Cool.
in my house now.
So
My goodness.
I'm gonna share this video of what happened to two dolls that we gave him, and it took place over there in Columbiana in what used to be our office. Watch carefully.
Oh yeah.
I have recently went up to West Virginia to the what was it called, the Afterlife Museum, the archive of the Afterlife Museum. That place was really interesting. They had all kinds of dolls that were haunted, that were supposedly haunted. They had death masks. They actually had a cap they would put on death row inmates when they got the chair. I mean, it was bizarre, and I thought, yeah,
What happened?
like 20 seconds ago, I thought, yeah,
All right,
I ignored it. I ignored it because I thought it was my eyes.
I do really. It was this one right here, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
screen. I
Yeah.
didn't see. I missed it.
I
Both of y'all saw
I
that.
was just time to see the head kind of wobble like it was trying to turn.
yeah, I
Okay,
thought my eyes were playing with me.
Joe, you want to take that one home with you?
As long as it's temporary. They had death masks. They actually had a the cap they would put on death row inmates when they got the chair. I mean, it was bizarre, and I thought, yeah,
What happened?
like 20 seconds ago, I thought, yeah,
All right,
I ignored it. I ignored it because I thought it was my eyes.
Alabama, and we're going to build a museum on it.
That'll be cool.
It's going to be a haunted museum and a Bigfoot museum, artifacts, and for storytelling and that kind of stuff.
Right. I had recently went up to West Virginia to the what was it called? The Afterlife Museum, the archive of the Afterlife Museum. That place was really interesting. They had all kinds of dolls that were haunted, were supposedly
The eyes
haunted.
are moving.
They had death masks. They actually had a the cap
So
they
they
would
moved.
put on death row inmates
There it
when they
moved
got
again.
the chair. I mean, it was bizarre, and I thought, yeah,
What happened?
like 20 seconds ago, I
And
thought, yeah,
All right,
I ignored it. I ignored it because I thought it was my eyes.
Ha. I got this little one right here. Erica, you remember this one?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know how old it is or anything, but it's an old doll. You can tell it's old.
I got one like that.
now, Kevin, pull up that video of the dollhouse grave.
Okay.
And while he's pulling that video up, I am going to demonstrate what we're going to be doing next week.
Okay.
You
You see
familiar with
this?
the Divic box?
What is that?
That's what I was telling you about, Erica.
A Dibbit box.
Okay.
It has a spirit housed inside of it. This is a child spirit. And we're going to open it up and see what happens next
You're
week.
going to open it? How long has the spirit been in there?
I have had it since 2019, 2018, something like that. As far as anything else, I have no idea. All I know is there's a spirit supposedly trapped in here. The wax is kind of worn off over the years. It rode around in the back of my vehicle for a while, and I had wax everywhere.
Right.
But this is it. It's got an angel on the front. I don't know if you guys can see it very well.
Cool.
Oh. And so y'all are going to do that
Next
on this?
week. on this show next
The
week.
show?
No, we're gonna take it to their shop and do it.
What, do you want a child running around your shop?
No, we got enough of them.
Yeah, we have enough kids.
Yeah, but this is a sweet child.
This is a sweet child.
We hope.
We hope.
Right.
Yeah. We're not 100%
Hey,
sure.
you don't know for real.
Why
What
is
you,
the spirit in the box?
yeah.
Someone put it in there. I
So it
actually
might not
acquired
be
it.
a female.
I acquired this from another collector. He is getting up in age and he is getting ready to pass over to his next life or whatever he goes to. And
Right.
occasionally he calls me up and he says, "Hey, Catherine, I got something that I think you just got to have."
Right.
And I can't tell him no. So I have quite the collection of things and items that you would not believe.
Cool.
But this is one of them. And I thought, why not? Let's see what's in it.
Right.
Why not?
Never
Well,
know.
I've got the video here. This is, I was going to tell where it was. I'll show the picture here on the screen. We went to, this is an actual grave with a dollhouse built on top. And this is in Lynette, Alabama, which is over near the east state line of Alabama, where Alabama and Georgia connect, and a little more southeast. And Nadine Earls is the little girl buried there. Her tomb is inside the dollhouse, along with several of her toys and a bunch of dolls that people have donated. And she died. Her dad started building her this dollhouses back in the 40s, I believe, because she always wanted a dollhouse outside for her dolls. But she got sick and she passed away at the age of 4. And her dad, who, even though he was heartbroken, decided he would continue building that dollhouse and put it on her grave instead. And that's what he did. And her parents are buried I think that tombstone in front of her house there, as you see in the bottom right-hand corner, that's her mother's grave. And then her dad is over on the right side of the house there. And so they're buried around her. And people have said they've seen her little spirit playing around there. They've heard her inside the tomb. And this is in broad daylight. We went out there and did some spirit box. And I've got this set to the part of the video where it's about to show you're about to hear the sound that we picked up, and we heard it with our ears, and it came through on the recording here. And I didn't know until after I'd already posted this video, but I also caught what I believe is her little voice answering me, which I'll just loop that so you can hear it. So
Yeah, they tried to accuse me of doing it, but I wasn't anywhere.
We said in the video, it's not him. He's over by the car with his butt sticking out. So let's see here. Let me share my screen. Oh, well, first it would help to take the picture off, don't you think? Let's see here. Come on, Kevin. There we go. All right, now let me share my screen. All righty, come on there. There we go. There we go. All righty. Got some knocking. That was interesting.
That's good. We got some knocking over here.
Inside?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we heard
Did you hear it real loud?
little hand knock.
'Cause I was over by the car drinking this and trying to
Yeah.
feel better.
All right, everybody. That's what I call a happy haunting. Here's where you can hear it here.
It's hard to tell out here in this sign.
Was that a knock?
Uh-huh. Where's Kelsey?
He's over there in the car.
That was definitely a knock.
He's over there, and we're the only other two here. That is a knock.
And that's very rhythmic. I don't think that's the wind, do you think?
No.
Hi, Nadine. Is
There's
that
nothing around that little house that would knock.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. And here it's enhanced.
It's hard to tell out here in this sign.
Was that a knock?
Uh-huh. Where's Kelsey?
He's over there in the car.
That was definitely a knock.
He's over there, and we're the only other two here. That is a knock. And that's very rhythmic. I don't think that's the wind, do you think?
No.
Hi, Nadine. Is that you knocking at us?
Now there's where I caught the voice. Let me play it here.
I heard it.
Hi, Nadine. Is that you knocking at us? Is that you knocking at us? Is that you knocking at us?
Hear that little yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So that was very awesome, and that's in broad daylight there. And you can hear the little voice say, "Yeah." And I didn't even know I would have put a loop in the video, but somebody pointed out after I'd uploaded it to YouTube.
Did not hear it there.
No, there was no voice there.
That's cool.
So that is definitely a great play. I want to go back. I want to visit Nadine again.
So, Erica, how many dolls would you like us to bring to your house tomorrow?
Not a one.
Not even bring one to the store to visit. Oh, I usually
Okay.
You know,
take them.
Okay.
That's what we.
I can be around them. I'm not gonna have one in my house, and my kids.
Selena's being very quiet.
I'm just
Selena
listening.
loves dolls.
Yeah. I used to have a whole bunch, but I got rid of all of them. I just kept the one that I was most drawn to.
Right here.
I've got all kinds, from little tiny dolls to. And people ask me, "Is it Barbie dolls?" No, I don't have any Barbie dolls. Mine are vintage, antique, and some are a little more
I
modern.
don't like dolls is because my grandmother used to hand make us clothes and all kinds of things, and she had this doll pattern, but it was a pillow, and she made a stuffed pillow that was a doll. Well, one night I had a dream. I think I was dreaming. I don't know, but when I woke up, the doll was hovering over me. This doll that my grandmother made me. And so I locked all of my dolls into a suitcase, and I never got dolls again. And I didn't even really buy my kids dolls when they were little. So I don't know. That's why I don't like dolls.
A doll hovering. Yeah, I guess that would do it.
There's the mother's grave, and she's uploading the. I didn't get another picture.
Oh, yeah, that's
Okay.
Nadine's mother.
Hold on, I'm going to get the picture of the inside of that.
Yes.
I have pictures of the inside.
Yeah, there was some on the video, but that's a 20-minute video. I didn't want to play the whole thing.
I'm getting them.
That's a cool. I would like to go to that cemetery.
Me too.
It's worth it, and that's now my favorite haunted place right there, little Nadine.
Right.
In Alabama, anyway.
Was not expecting to get anything out of it either. Did not go there with that hope at all.
But I always seem to, whenever I go somewhere there's going to be a child haunting the place, I seem to attract them. I used to teach for years. I taught in the children's department at church. I taught children's church and youth, and I had a youth drama team there. And when I started publishing my books, I sort of pulled away from that because I know I couldn't juggle both. But I really love kids, and it seems like everywhere I go, if it's a child spirit, they're attracted to me.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
and I've had some follow me home when I stayed at Myrtle's Plantation a few days in Louisiana. I came home when I was living in an apartment years ago, and I had paranormal activity for the next 2 weeks. It's like they followed me home.
Wow.
Oh,
you see the pictures, right?
Yeah, that's Nadine's doll sitting on her tomb there.
Oh, cool.
That's what's inside that house.
That's so cute.
Yeah. You can see Nadine's little tomb over there with her doll on it.
Oh,
There, right there. There it is.
Yeah.
yes, that would be something cool to see.
Yeah, that would be totally awesome to see.
And
Yeah,
that's just looking in from the window. You cannot
Yeah.
get inside.
Yeah, it's locked.
Yeah.
But
And there's a little mailbox outside where people have stuck letters to Nadine on there.
Oh,
you can see how well built that little brick house is.
yeah.
Yes.
So there's nothing in there that should be knocking at all.
Those dolls
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Have y'all seen the video? I think this place is in Mexico. There's a cemetery where of course, it's not a dollhouse grave like this, but there's a little small tomb that's got windows in it where this little girl is buried, and there's one of those tall Barbie dolls is next to her tomb,
Mm-hmm.
and it's locked. And these guys were filming, looking inside, and that blame doll turned its head toward them.
Oh my
Oh.
God.
And looked at them, and they ran screaming. I guess they were screaming Spanish obscenities. And they are running. You can see the camera bouncing as they're running back through the cemetery. But see, I might run. Now I see that happen, I start talking to them like, hey.
Yeah, exactly.
And people think I'm crazy. Run! I ain't running.
So Erica, Selena, got any more stories?
I'm sure I do. I know Selena does. Selena dreamed her brother was gonna die.
Yeah. I have dreams. I dream about stuff and it comes true. Like 2.5 months before my brother died, I dreamed that he was in an apartment complex, which was 3 miles from the apartment complex that he actually died in, and that we found him dead. And I told my brother about it, and about 2.5 months later, he died in his apartment. Yeah. And then when I got sick with COVID before we knew COVID was here, and I was in the hospital for like 10 days. I had a heart attack. I was very sick. And my brother came to me when I was at the hospital and told me, he was like, sister, I know I'm not supposed to be here, but I just wanted to come and tell you it's all going to be okay. So I come home from the hospital. The day I come home from the hospital, I have a dream that night about Dragon Ball Z flower arrangements. I didn't know what the hell it meant. But 2 days later, my son passed away. And when we went to his funeral, those flower arrangements from my dream were sitting up there by his casket. It was the exact same flower arrangement that I dreamed about.
So
I have dreams.
you seem to be doing pretty good now. You healed up fine.
Yeah, I have my days. I'm not gonna lie, but that's what
She's
really
doing phenomenal. She's doing great.
Yeah. But I had a spiritual awakening not long after he died, and I don't know. I've learned how to handle stuff.
So how long you girls been friends?
22 years. 23 years.
Yeah, 23 years.
Yeah.
A long
So-
time.
A long damn time.
So
We were actually related and never met each other until after we were grown.
sorry, like cousins or something?
Step cousins. Her stepdad was my great uncle.
I'll be done.
Yeah, we didn't even know it.
Well, in Alabama, you could have got married.
Yeah, I guess so. And then all my family's buried out here close to my house over here. It's called Walnut Creek. And all of her family, her mama's family's buried over there too. Like we're right beside each other. Our dead loved ones are neighbors.
Yes.
Like right there beside each other.
Wow.
I don't know. The universe had a reason for us to entwine together. We've been close friends for 22 years.
So did you have your spiritual journeys? Did they coincide with each other?
She got a little ahead of me, but I caught up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's all been a growing process together too. But
Yeah.
I mean, I've been, I've been spiritual for a long time and just kind of kept it on the down low about a lot of things. But I still had my sage and I still had my crystals. I'd still stuffed pockets with stuff. Nobody just knew it. I just wasn't as
Yeah.
open about everything as I am now.
Yeah. I mean, we've always been drawn to this,
And
the
I'd
paranormal.
slowly nudge Selena with something, do some subliminal.
Mhm.
Maybe you need to look into this, And
No.
She just gave me the little nudges I needed because I mean I've always believed in it, but when my son, he had muscular dystrophy, so I stayed at home and took care of him 24/7. I was pretty much like a hermit, and I was just on autopilot, and it was just, I mean, I've always believed in this type of thing. I've always, everything that Erica ever has, told me about her experience or whatever, I've always 100% believed her. I don't know, I was kind of dead inside at the time. I was on autopilot. My main concern was taking care of my child, and that was the thing. That was the only thing that mattered.
Energy at the moment.
Yeah.
Have you both been surprised in a positive way about how many people in our area are receptive to what you guys are involved in?
Yes, very surprising. They're all in the woodworks out there in Shelby County.
And very surprised about how many people are secretive about it. And then they come to us and they're like, we're so glad you're here, which is one of the main things we want to be, is just a safe space for other people. I remember
where I am with it, I want to make the world a safe place. Not just this, you know what I'm saying?
Not just this mention, yeah.
Someone has to take the lead and be the first one to be out and open with it.
Well, I went out on a whim. I found this building. 2 days later, I signed a lease. Didn't really think about it a lot. I just went with it. It just felt right. Mm-hmm. And that was in December. We did pretty good in December. And then January rolled around. And, business and J months. J months usually don't do well because it's January, June, and July. January after Christmas, June and July, everybody's on vacation. And so we were like halfway through the month and we were kind of struggling a little bit. And I'm like, okay, did I make the right decision with this? And then it just hit me. I just started crying. I was like, we're just, because so many people come in and they just do like trauma unloads with us. Like they talk about stuff with their family, experiences that's happened with them, things that are just sad. It's hard to carry. And I am a very empathetic person. I feel everything. I feel everybody's stuff. And I just started crying. I was like, maybe we're just here to be the vessel. Maybe we're just here to be that vessel for these people, for their healing experiences or whatever it is that they're needing at the moment. Maybe we're just the vessel.
Yeah, that's like being a doula.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, Kevin.
Selena, is your shoulder hurting?
Do what?
Is your shoulder bothering you?
Yeah, it is. It's been bothering me all day.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Kevin. I didn't mean to talk over you, Kevin.
Yeah, we all are rude to Kevin.
We love Kevin.
But yes, it has been bothering me all day. I've been at work all day and it has given me fits all day.
I understand.
What?
Go ahead. Y'all take it.
Well, I didn't even know I didn't know if you were asking me a question or what.
No, I just want y'all to step in and have some conversation.
Oh, you had me. You talking about making the world a better place. I was over here in my head singing, I'd like to teach the world to sing. Well, what else? What do y'all? Well, I don't know. Do y'all have a favorite haunted place here in Alabama, or somewhere you always wanted to go to and check it out?
I mean, I'm open for any.
I love going. We love doing that.
Yeah, and if it's so. It's really funny. Way back when I was a single mama with 2 kids and no support from the father. And kids want to go ghost hunt. They want to go to haunted houses. Well, Atrox is expensive, and so I could only afford one haunted house a year. So me and some of the moms, we looked up haunted places in Alabama. We looked up like the Dead Children's Playground. I don't remember all the different places that it was. And we just kind of made, we had parents at these places, and we took the kids there, and whatever it said on the internet, like at the Dead Children's, I don't remember which one it was, but something left wet handprints in the seat by a lake. So we went over here to the grist mill in Clanton. Mm-hmm. We had somebody put wet handprints in the seat. We made a big to-do out of it. It was like a hype for the kids. Before I knew it, we were loading up 2 or 3 carloads of kids that were like 12 and 13 years old and taking them ghost hunting every weekend. And eventually they grew up, and so the grown-ups started doing it.
Well, we need to set up a time when Kevin and all of us can get together and spend some time in the building you're in now.
Okay.
At night, right? And do a ghost hunt there. We need to go to that Catholic cemetery.
Yes.
And do that. That's what Selena wants real bad, isn't it?
Yes, I don't know. I'm so drawn to that place over there.
It is a cool place.
It's beautiful during the daytime, but as soon as the sun goes down and it's dark, it's a completely different feeling and vibe.
Messenger text me the name and whatnot so I can find it.
Well, I don't even know if it has a name. It don't even have a road number. I would just have to take you there.
Okay. Right.
Oh man, this is one of those places. If something happens, they'll never find our crippled bodies.
Yeah.
Erica, the Dead Children's Playground.
Yes.
One of my viral videos on TikTok is from there.
Is it?
Yes,
one of the swings was going back and forth. Yeah.
Just one of them.
Never been there. We just made it up.
No, that's in Huntsville. There's one in Huntsville.
Yes.
I've not been yet.
We need to go there. Yes.
I've always wanted to go. I've read a bunch of different reviews.
We need to go to that. We got to go to that cemetery first.
Okay. Whenever y'all ready, I'm ready.
Where's it at?
And then we need to. We got to investigate the building you guys are in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See where that dog took that lid.
Yeah, because
the whole box. It was the whole damn box. It took the box and left the lid.
He left the lid. It's the box. Yeah.
I've not had a ghost dog yet, but I do have a ghost cat. Started at the old house over here in Westover before I moved here for my dad to be able to live with me. But and I have a cat. I have a live cat, Maddie. But I don't know if this cat is a cat from that neighborhood that died, or if it belongs to one of the dolls, the spirits with one of my dolls. But I first found out about it probably a few years after I moved in that house in Westover. It was a little garden house, my first house. And I lived there several years. It was about 2 years into it, and I was building up the collection of dolls. And I'm in the kitchen, and I feel a cat rub against my ankle. I mean, a solid, warm, furry rub. And I'm thinking that's Maddie. And I look down, there's nothing there. I'm looking around the room, there's nothing there. And I go look for Maddie, and she's across the house in the front of the house in the front window, asleep on the windowsill.
You know it wasn't her.
And then I had that happen again in a different room. Felt the same rub and looked down. There's nothing there. So one night, I wasn't even looking for this cat, but one night when I was doing a session with the dolls, it was around the middle of the night. I took a picture of my cat's laying on the recliner, and I just, it's just her there, and I'm taking a picture, trying to, hoping I can catch a little ghost or something. And I notice in the picture where Maddie is, there's 2 cats. She's on the recliner, and below her on the floor is this translucent looking shape of a cat laying below there, stretched out. And I've posted it on I'd probably go find it, but I posted it on my Facebook page, My Haunted Dolls. the original photo and the photo where I've outlined the cat, you can see the ears and the little paws there where it's laying down, little tail. And it was just amazing. And I wondered if the cat followed me here after I moved here. And apparently it did. In fact, just a few nights ago, I was sitting on the couch. And I don't know if you ever had a cat, but sometimes their way of showing affection is they'll come up and they'll kind of headbutt you.
Mm-hmm.
And my cat did that. She'd come over, she'd kind of headbutt me and rub against me. And I'm sitting there clicking the TV remote, sitting up on the couch. And I felt a little head bump me and kind of rub. And I go to pet her, and there's nothing there. And I look over, and Maddie's curled up asleep on the other side of the room in the recliner. So I said, well, the cat's here. I named the cat Shadow.
Oh, cool.
Well, the funny thing about that, when we seen that dog a few weeks ago, so my daughter was in a relationship with a guy. They bought a house together. She ended up leaving her dogs in the house. But then we had just found out that dog died. What, Selena, like a day or two before that?
Yeah, just a day or two.
Yeah, and then within a day or so, we're in there, and it was a pit bull. But this dog was brown, but this was a white pit bull dog that I seen. I plainly seen it. It just came past me. It was smiling and just trotted on right in through the wall.
I wonder if it's the same dog that I saw the other day, Selena.
It could have been.
I didn't think about it till just now.
Dog.
I saw a dog. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was a dog, and it was attached to Selena.
Yeah.
Well, I had a miniature Doberman. I had her for like 12 years, and she passed away a little over a year ago. And I mean, that was my ride or die right there. She was my dog.
I know it was. I remember it being a small dog.
Yeah, well, this one was a bulldog, like
it was a pit bull. It was just like a normal little sized dog, but it pranced right through there. I said, I'm going crazy.
I'm like, what you see? What you see?
I have found the photos of my ghost cat if y'all would like to see it right quick.
I have never seen these, Kevin.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen to show them instead of uploading them here so I can use my little mouse pointer and show what I'm talking about here. And make sure I save them to the desktop here. Yep, I did. All righty, so let me share my screen. Come on, screen share, wake up. There it goes. I think the screen share was taking a nap. All righty. Okay, here we go. Now, I pull up the first picture here. Now, this is the photo I took. Now, there's two light anomalies here.
I see it, yeah.
And I don't know what those are, but what I'm looking at, so here's my real cat, Maddie, curled up asleep in the recliner. And down below, right here, is the cat, Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Ghost cat.
There it is where I outlined. That's the shape I'm seeing there.
Yep.
Cool.
And there it is without the outline there. But I didn't see it in person. And this thing here might be the flash on the camera reflected on the floor. That was a hardwood floor. But that looks like the shape of a cat.
Now, where was it?
Yes.
This was at my old house in Westover in that big great room.
Yeah.
In the middle of my house. And the doll room was right through this archway here. I've had all the dolls in there.
Two cats.
Yeah, a live cat and a dead cat.
Well, at least you don't have to feed it or clean up after it.
No shedding unless it's ghost shed.
Exactly.
You know.
I have a ghost rabbit.
Okay.
I have rabbits are only supposed to live like 8-9 years. Mine lived for 13 years.
Okay.
And she lived in my bathroom. Like she would run loose. She had a litter box, and when we were home, we would let her out through the rest of the house.
Right.
Well, one day she'd gotten out of the bathroom because somebody forgot to close the door, and I come home and she's sitting on my bed. Didn't know rabbits could jump that high because I got a king size bed, and it's over my waist high because I like a tall bed. And anyway, she would thump her back legs constantly. And all the time I'm hearing thumps.
Yep. She's
But-
saying hi.
Yep.
For me.
Yep. And when I was home and I'd crawl in bed and I'd open the bathroom door and let her come in there and she'd hop up on the bed and sleep with me, and cuddle. She thought she was a dog or a cat.
Right.
But she was a great little rabbit. She was huge, but she was little.
Oh.
And when I say little dogs, y'all, I have a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
So when any dog smaller than a German Shepherd to me is little.
Yeah.
And I have a Husky and I have a Great Pyrenees. So when I say small dog, it's smaller than those.
Right.
Erica's got a whiskey barrel. He looks like a big old whiskey barrel. He's so damn big.
Yes, he is. He weighs 120, 125 pounds. He's huge.
Wow.
Huge.
Just a big old baby.
10 pounds. So he tries to crawl in your lap.
Kevin, take a moment and share your books.
My books. Let's
He
see
likes to talk
about
about
my
his
Oh, yeah, your books.
books. Why do you think I like to talk about my books? My books, my books. I don't know why you think my books, my books. I talk about my books, my books. MyHauntedDolls.com. There, and that's a bumper sticker you can buy on my website. I've also got coffee mugs and baseball caps and even a car tag to put on the front of your car. And but I've got all my books. Here's My Haunted Collection, The Dark Side. Now I've got the first book was just called My Haunted Collection, which told about my original items. This is the sequel book, My Haunted Collection, The Dark Side. And that tells about some of the items with a darker story. That one on the cover actually had what I believe was a demonic attached. I had to bless that booger and put her in a case and seal her up. She was practically an Annabelle type. She would scratch and it was awful.
How many dolls do you have that you've had to put in cases?
Of all these over 300, I've only had 3 items I've had to bless. One was a mirror that had something bad coming through. The other was this clown doll that came out of a Jack in the Box. It was already sealed before I got it, but I have it now. And over time, used to his arms were crossed. Now I noticed recently they've uncrossed. But this hand, the fingers have curled down and he's flipping the bird. And so you can tell he's ticked off.
Right.
But everybody gets a laugh out of it. I'm like, you can flip me off all you want to. I'm not opening your box, you little sucker. But the other item is the Lori doll right there on the cover. So only 3 I've had to bless. So, and
that's pretty good odds.
Yeah.
And when I do get some I've gotten that aren't evil, but maybe a little feisty, and people will say they're feisty, they want attention. But it seems like every time I bring an item into my home and I just, I talk to it and I've, given it a place here, they sort of calm down and they just get real nice and quiet. So I guess they like my little feng shui here.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, of course,
safe with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I have my elderly dad and my disabled brother living with me now. So now there's a little bit of more chaos than I normally have.
Right.
But but they still seem to be quiet, except my brother has said he has heard his name called out 3 different times at night. He's heard somebody call his name out when he comes over here he lives in the cottage behind my house.
Mm-hmm.
But he comes in here to use the facilities and everything. And he's heard somebody call his name and he's heard children laughing.
The children laughing was not in the house, was it?
That was outside. Yeah, he heard it outside his cottage.
Mm-hmm.
But I've written some of the novels I've written, like this one, is based on a haunted painting in my collection, and that's the real painting in the picture there on the cover. That came from Salem, the home of witchcraft. Yeah, that actually hung in the home of a practicing witch in Salem. But I've never had anything bad happen with it.
I call that his clickbait book.
Because of the Roll Tide Crimson.
That's my grandson's name. Crimson's my grandson's name.
Oh, neat.
Now that's
He's
who
very
Johnny talked
gifted.
to.
Yeah, he's a very gifted little kid.
Oh.
Crimson's got some stories for you. We should have put him on here tonight. He could have kept us in
Yeah.
whole hours.
Yes. He actually is able to see and talk to his spirit guide, like we're sitting here talking.
But
We
he
should-
did
we should-
witness a traumatic experience prior
Yes.
to doing. Since he experienced a traumatic experience, that's when all of these things have started happening to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get him on sometime.
Yeah.
Share.
He's
That's
a
He's
mess,
very
I'm telling you.
Oh, and I meant to share too. I've actually met the famous Annabelle. Here's my picture.
Cool.
The real Annabelle. Of course,
Yeah,
Kelsey
the
says it's
original.
fake, but
No, it is the one they call Annabelle, but I'm saying
Yeah.
Annabelle is not really a haunted doll. Is what I'm saying.
well, I got some weird vibes off
Yeah,
her, but
now,
I don't know that it's
Kevin's
gonna
got
attack
some
you.
real haunted dolls.
Ah, well, thank you.
Is my Annabelle is in the other room, is it not?
I don't know about Annabelle. We
Oh.
had the other doll
about,
that we had to put in a case.
Oh, Sweet Carolina.
Yeah, Sweet Carolina.
Sweet haunted Carolina.
Is that a doggy? Oh, I see the doggy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pikachu. Hey,
We
Pikachu.
yeah.
We were at the office over in Columbiana, and someone left me a Raggedy Ann doll. Just left it on the porch and it had a heart on it and had Annabelle written across it. And it was laying with it.
No, look my chin.
They didn't leave a note with it.
Nope. I guess that it was
Just
just.
said, "Here, you take it. We don't want this."
Yeah, I have a haunted chair too.
Cool.
And Kevin actually got something off of my chair.
Oh yeah.
When you sat in it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, y'all
Nah,
wanted me to read it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, y'all wanted to see if I could get a rating off of it. And before y'all even told me anything, I got up and I thought I heard somebody, like a older woman, say in my ear, Agatha Christie. And I thought Agatha Christie, like the writer. And I'm thinking, where is that coming from? And I realized it was coming from that chair. And y'all said there was a lady there.
He's boxing it up.
Cool.
Said that there was a lady that liked to sit in that chair and she liked to read. And probably she read Agatha Christie.
Now, I want to share something with these girls and our viewers. A few years ago, we were in a cemetery over in Shelby. And we ran across and found, not on a grave, but in a pile of weeds, a strange box. And we took it back to our office and we decided to get rid of it because there's some strange things going on. So I want you to watch as she was packing this up to get rid of it. This was a Dybbuk box, we believe. But watch as we're packing it up, or she was. I was filming her boxing it up.
Okay, congratulations to, I'm not going to give the name, the guy in California who's receiving this haunted Dybbuk box. I'm calling it Dybbuk box container. Spooky is all I can tell you if you look at previous videos. Catherine is boxing it up. We've already got the address to send it to. He paid for it and won it this morning, and same day shipping, day packing. That's the way that we do things here. Because, well, for one thing, lady right here really wanted this thing. She's scared of it. We're getting it away from her.
That's the only thing that's ever scared me.
Got more spooky things going to be properly listing. A little back, if you're listening to this, I'm a second generation clergy, a little bit of a quirky individual, but I've been involved in
exorcisms, minor exorcisms, house blessings, all that kind of stuff that goes along with being a bona fide minister, clergy. And over the years, I collected various little things. I'm a little older now, and this one was discovered. I didn't think about this, but this one I discovered by accident. It wasn't in my collection of stuff. So I don't know what happened there. No, I did not do that. I don't know. You saw that. Okay, we're going to get this box out of California on the other side of the country, away from us. That here, but us. And you saw her. Both hands were on that box. Those scissors went flying across the floor. Away from this one, I discovered by accident. It wasn't in my collection of stuff. So I don't know what happened.
So,
What the hell was that?
Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Her hands were nowhere near those scissors. And they
Freak.
flew across the floor.
I looked calm, but I definitely was not calm.
so
That
Catherine,
box scared the
But
shit
there
out
were
of
a
me.
lot of strange things that happened in our office around
Well,
that box.
That's why, yeah, that was
yeah,
what was that? It was
Huh?
a box
yeah, it was the box.
Yeah.
that you found.
Let me see if I can get an explainer video here.
So Catherine, did you do something to me because my shoulder's not hurting anymore? It's not. I can move. It's not hurting at all. It's not got any pull to it anymore. Thank you.
Omar!
A wishing machine.
The wishing machine.
She took the needle out of the voodoo doll. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
No, I only make love voodoo dolls.
Show them the video. Show them the last voodoo doll you made on the mantle.
Hold on, let me grab it.
I thought of the.
This is for my buddy Ashley.
Oh, we love Ashley.
I
Yeah.
love Ashley. I was hoping she's going to be on tonight, but it's a love voodoo doll.
Oh,
And it's hair.
She
It's
needs
hair.
some love,
She needs lots of love and
self-love. She needs to love herself.
Its hair is that Spanish moss that came from a cemetery in Tallahassee, Florida, where there's a white witch buried by the name of Graham, Elizabeth Bud Graham.
Oh,
and
Well,
I,
look at all the connections there.
yeah.
I gathered it up so that it would be, and stitched it up so it'd be a happy love doll for her.
Oh,
Aw.
Bring her good luck. And
Everybody
luck.
say hello to Omar from
Hello to
Costa Rica.
hi, Omar.
So there's some of the activity we got to share with you guys tonight that we've had at certain times.
And he hasn't told you the story about the keys.
Oh gosh, yeah. Have y'all been to Oklahoma?
Yes, I love the old Cahaba.
I
Yes.
gotta tell you the story.
Yeah.
Okay, we went up there, and Kelsey and I were walking around this house,
The old slave's house is still standing.
Uh-huh.
and I'm walking around, and an owl flies out of the house. Okay, and Kelsey walks on around, and I'm right behind him, and a second owl flies out, and of course it was mad because we were there, so it pooped everywhere.
Right.
I was going to die laughing if it had gotten Kelsey, but it didn't. But it also dropped a feather, and I picked the feather up, and I was walking around with this feather. Okay.
Mhm.
I start hearing keys, and Kelsey turns around and looks at me. And it's like, "What's going on?" I said, "Shut up!" And I kept hearing these keys, and it sounded like somebody walking with a bunch of keys in their hand, jingling them around. And I knew it wasn't his because his were in his pockets, and his pockets were not loose enough. The pants he had on weren't loose enough for them to jiggle. And so we're walking on around, and I keep hearing them, and they kind of disappeared off into the woods. Well, we went up to the what's the guy's
Little
name?
place, yeah, the little place where you check in. Yeah.
And the little guard or whatever he is there that works there. I started to ask him. I said, "What's the deal with the keys?" The man's face turned as white as a ghost. He turned and looked at me and he said, "You heard the keys?" And I said, "Yes." And apparently there was a cemetery in the graveyard back behind there where the slaves are buried. A slave had gotten the keys to people's houses and was breaking in
Well,
using the keys.
what would happen to get you kind of
I'm not done. Can I finish? Anyway, about a week before, somebody had stolen the groundskeeper's keys, or they'd gotten lost at the slaves' quarters, and they actually found them on the grave of the slave.
Oh, wow.
Which is like a mile away from where that house was.
Wow.
And we didn't know that, but she got the sensation and the keys, yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, I've got a funny story.
Okay. Kevin's got a funny story.
Okay.
Yeah, something that, to anybody out there watching that's ever having a paranormal team come to your house, just make sure your kids aren't in the house, because this is a funny thing happened.
Definitely.
We had this lady and her roommate call us out, and somewhere in Timbuktu, Alabama, somewhere toward Anniston, I believe, or it might have been it was Gadsden, toward Gadsden, out there off the highway, twisty turny, all these streets we went down to get there. And she claimed she was having footsteps in the hallway and shadow figures and all this stuff, so she wanted us to come out. And now, I've always kind of been partially sensitive. I can sense when something's kind of around, especially if it's negative. That always makes me nauseous, or I get the willies, or sometimes both at the same time. But I haven't seen a solid apparition since I was a little kid. I always see little wispy things, or out of the corner of my eye. I might see it for a split second, and then it's gone. But in this lady's house, we're sitting there, and I'm at the end of the hallway, and I'm keeping an eye down the hall in case there's any activity. And I'm looking, and she had told us about she had her little daughter had, which from what I understood, had gone to their grandmother's house. So it was supposed to be free reign of the house. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking down the hall, and I'm waiting on something to happen, and we're doing the spirit box and REM pod, and a few things did go off. But we weren't getting much else as far as activity. And finally I looked down the hall, and there in the hallway, suddenly out of nowhere, is this solid figure of a little girl in a long white nightgown just watching me. And she's like 3 feet tall, like a little toddler, just watching me. And I kept looking. I was expecting it to vanish, and it didn't. I'm like, what the hell? Am I getting my mojo back again? And I'm pointing down the hall, and I said, is she supposed to be there? Y'all, come here. And they come running over, and we're all getting excited. There's this little ghost girl in a white nightgown. And then the owner comes around and goes, "Oh, my daughter got out of bed." And she goes down the hallway, and I'm just sitting there, mouth open. She goes down the hallway to get her, and I look at Kim. I said, "Did she not take her? I thought she took her kid out of here." And the lady came back. She said, "No, I had her asleep back there. I'd gotten her to sleep before y'all came." I'm like, it would have been nice if you told us. Number one, we would have kept it down so not to wake her or scare her. Number two, so we don't get scared if she gets up to go to the bathroom. I thought I'd seen a little girl ghost. And I was freaking out. She's supposed to be there. Oh, come on, get the equipment. I'm like, this little girl ain't going nowhere.
Now, Brady has seen a little girl ghost back when she was in high school. One of her friends' moms worked at the funeral home here in Columbiana, and they went over there one night. They spent the night in there one night, and she did see a little girl ghost. She got up and left. She didn't spend the whole night.
I have seen one in Myrtle's Plantation, my third or fourth visit there, because I've fallen in love with the place. I need to go back. But every time I go and I tour the house, I feel the little girl's spirit hold my hand. I think it was her that followed me home that first few weeks after my first visit, because I felt the little hand on my back when I was laying in the bed. But my third visit there, I was sitting. I decided to take out to rent the large bedroom they've got downstairs in the old original main house. It's the General Bradford suite where people have seen children bouncing on the bed, that ghost children. And I'm sitting there. It's got a separate sitting room you can sit in, and that they're very old fashioned. They don't have TVs. They want you to feel like you stepped back in time. So I
Right.
took my laptop. This is back in 2004 before we had all these, or 2006 before we had all these streaming services. So I still had a DVD player in the laptop, and I'm watching it, and I look up, and in the doorway leading into my bedroom is a little girl peeking around. I mean, I saw the face, the little ruffled sleeve peeking around. Then she darted off. She was there like 2 seconds.
Hmm.
And most people would probably get up and run out the door, but I got up and chased her. I said, "Wait, come back. I want to talk to you." And I went in my bedroom looking around, and there's nobody there. There's only one door out on the other side that goes out on the veranda, and it was locked. And it was still locked. There was nowhere she could go that fast. She had disappeared. But it was that little girl just peeking around to see if what I was doing.
Right.
So that was a real ghost. That was not somebody's child sneaking around. Yeah.
So, Erica and Selena, we've got 10 minutes left. Spend some time telling people about what you got in your store, what your hours are, how they can get a hold of you. Promote yourselves.
Okay. You want me to do this, or you want to do it? I got
Take
it.
it away.
So we do most of our stuff. I would say 85% of the stuff that we have, excuse me, in our store is stuff that we actually handcraft ourselves. We dry our own flowers, we dry our own herbs, we grow our own herbs.
Yeah.
We make our own candles, soy-based candles. We make our own oils. We make our own room sprays. Everything we use is organic and clean, free pesticides, free non-GMO, all that good stuff. I'm sorry, Selena, you're gonna take over.
Okay. And we also have a tarot card reader. And like she said earlier, I just got certified as a crystal and chakra healer. And I'm also taking courses now for Reiki, level 2. So we got all that. We have mindful meditation for kids. We have what else we have? We got all kinds of crystals.
In the process of taking a meditation class to become a practitioner, to become a teacher for meditation.
And next month we're supposed to start having yoga next month.
We're
And
having
Erica is also a death doula.
I'm sorry?
You're a death doula.
Yes, an end of life doula. Grief doula, death doula, you know.
Yeah. So these girls got a lot to offer.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a few other things as well.
Yes.
And they will keep you posted on whatever happens there. And not if, but when we get together to do some of these haunts, like the cemetery, and even your building you're in, we will stream and record what we're doing.
Right. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
We love
I'm reading.
That's right up our alley. Anything goes.
So Selena really wants to go to that Catholic cemetery real bad.
Yes.
And we
really
creepy, y'all. We set a spell for protection before we go because I wound up in the hospital when Kevin and I did one over here in Shelby.
We got both.
I just
got holy water.
You know how we make holy water?
Plenty of crystals we can take with us.
You know how we make holy water?
How?
We boil the hell out of it.
I knew you was gonna have some kind of little something.
Well, if we go to a Catholic cemetery, I just want to make sure there ain't one of them old nasty ghost of a nasty Catholic priest that likes to fondle people.
It's possible. I'll tell you, the first time that I went there, I'm always all about let's go do this. But the first time I went there, I was scared. And I don't really get scared. But I was scared.
She's like, Selena, I don't want to be here. Let's go.
I did not have a good. Now we've been back since then. We've been in the day and at nighttime since then. But that one particular night, I just did not have a good feeling. Every hair on my body was standing out.
Yeah. And then when we were leaving, we scared the shit out of my husband and her wife. All right, and they took off. It was so funny.
Yeah.
I said we had a Facebook user on here. I didn't get to say hi to the Facebook user. And if you want to type in your name, hello.
Hey.
Yeah, right there.
Bellamy Bridge near.
Oh, it's in Florida.
Yeah.
Right
Spiders.
across, that's right across the line. Yeah.
When the storm rolled in. Huh.
Another one.
And there's
mentioned that
another.
cemetery.
There's 2 or 3 other graves I want to visit. One is up in Athens, my hometown, and it was a pastor, and they buried him vertical instead of horizontal.
Why they bury him vertical?
He wanted to be buried that way so that he could preach to the dead.
Okay.
The dead
And then
don't
there's-
need it.
And then there's actually 2 graves. One of them's in Kingston, Alabama, where they are buried in their feather beds.
Yeah, here's the picture of that one.
Oh, cool. I think I've seen those. I've seen those pictures before.
Yeah.
So there's actually a witch's grave. A witch's grave, like 3
In
witches'
Genesis?
graves. Yeah, just right over the road from where I live. You have to walk up this big old hill. You have to walk through a field and then walk up a big old hill. And there's like 3 graves. They're sisters. They're supposed to be witch graves.
I have been out there. It's been probably 25 years ago, and there were jars, mason jars with something in them on those graves.
Well, we got to come and visit you girls. You got to show us this stuff sometime.
We
We'll
will.
be glad to. Whenever y'all ready, just let us know.
We're ready.
Church down
Let's
here.
go. Let's go. Let's go tonight. Let's go.
Well, there's a church down here at Mount Zion. Selena and I were just over there yesterday. But now I've actually got some pictures and stuff. A swing that's been by itself.
Yeah.
I have this picture, but we took our kids out there when my kids were younger. And we took a group picture of all the kids in front of the church. And there is like a silhouette of a truck with a man propped up on the truck in that picture.
Oh.
What was your story, Kevin, about being in a truck or something? Something happened to you, a dream or something?
Oh, yeah, that dream I had that where I wasn't even me. I was somebody else. It was like I was looking through their point of view. I think it was an older gentleman. He was driving a truck, and if the way the town was like wee hours of the morning, the sun was not up. There was a little bit of a fog, and the buildings looked and the street lamps looked like it was something from way back, maybe in the 40s. And there's this figure in a trench coat and a fedora standing under one of the street lamps, and the guy sees him and panics and speeds up. As it goes by, the trench coat guy pulls out a gun and fires as the truck gets by, and the bullet comes through the back window and hits him or me in the back of the head. I feel the pop, and then the first or the last thought in my head before I woke up was, so this is what it's like. And then I woke up.
You could have been dreaming about your past life.
Yep.
That's what
Actually,
some have said, and
Yeah.
y'all don't realize it, but he is a ghost.
oh,
Well, he would be a spirit.
it could have
He's
been
a
one of the
spirit.
spirits with my dolls. That was maybe
Yeah.
sometimes they communicate in your
Something
dreams.
in dreams tell you what happened. Yeah.
I've had some weird things happen with that, but yeah, who knows? I've never had any past life experiences other than that'd be the only thing I've ever
So
experienced.
my grandson talks about when he was old back in the 40s. He told me he was in love with a girl named Ramona, and he fell madly in love with her because she beat him at golf, and then she shot a gun at him because he cheated on her with another woman. Keep in mind, he's 5 years old, and this is the shit he tells me. 5 years old.
Kids are amazing.
You know what, Selena? Somebody's going to report you to DHR.
I don't know. Hey, he don't live with me. He lives with his mama.
Hey, kids
see more and sense more than they sometimes can tell you.
Yes.
I used to see
Open.
full-bodied apparitions when I was a little bitty kid, and I thought they were real people until whoever was with me was like, oh, I didn't see anything.
They are real people. They're just dead.
They just
Not
did.
everybody can see them.
Mhm.
the kids say some scary crap like that. One
I
babysitter
do.
said the kid she was babysitting kept pointing up the stairs and laughing at somebody, and she said, "Who are you laughing?" Because there was nobody there; it was just her and the kid. And she said, "Who are you? What are you laughing at?" And the little girl said, "The funny lady up there above the stairs." She said, "Funny lady," and she didn't see anybody. She said, "Well, I don't see her." She said, "She's right there. She keeps making funny faces." She said, "What kind of face?" She said, "It's like." Realized that the expression she was given was like when
Dead.
somebody is hanging,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and it turned out a lady had hung herself in that house.
Oh wow.
And
Ooh,
this little
cool.
girl was seeing, but she thought it was the lady making funny faces, but it was a hanging dead ghost.
Well, I know where I'm living in Crimson, her grandson, he actually witnessed his dad. He shot himself. He shot himself in the head, and Crimson was there. He's seen it. He's seen it happen. And that kid will tell you that his daddy comes and sees him, and he's still got a hole in his face.
Yeah.
Yep.
So before we finish, these two girls, Erica and Selena, have a place called Room 44. If you go to Facebook and look for Room 44, Columbiana, Main Street, like their page, follow them, and support them because they are out like we are to change.
Yeah.
I always like to say that your mind is like a parachute. It works best when it's open. So you get more out of life if you keep an open mind.
Yes.
And you learn more. And
Yes.
that's how these girls have progressed in life because they had open minds. And now they want to help people in the community with what they're doing.
Come.
I'm sorry?
I said, come see us.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Even if you need somebody to talk to, we're there.
Yeah.
Very friendly lady.
Want education. We love to educate people. So
Yeah. And we love to be educated.
yes.
Maybe the ghost dog will let us pet it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I wish
Yeah,
we
we're
could bring
gonna
back
do
the box.
we're gonna do an investigation there, see if we found that box.
Yeah.
The clock in the
The clock in the main
main room.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
something.
Yeah.
big.
It comes open sometimes and we can't get it to
Yeah.
close. We have to stick paper in it to make it close, but it'll come open sometimes. It'll be just wide open.
Yep.
There is something definitely attached to it.
So we
And you
got
can smell perfume in there too.
a lot of exciting things about to take place in the coming up next few weeks, really. And
Yes.
we'll be talking to these girls. Kevin is going to be out of pocket next week. He's putting family above us.
we got
That's
company.
important.
But we'll still be here. Join us every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. right here. And we will keep on keeping on. Anything you girls want to say before we go?
Just thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
We appreciate it. We enjoyed the time with you and look forward to doing a lot of stuff with you in the future.
Yeah, y'all come by and see us one day.
Yeah, come see us.
Good night, all.
Good night. Bye, Catherine.